Hey everyone, in today's vlog, we are going to talk about the 8 phases of the ego and how these 8 phases how they affect you and how the ego is so sneaky and smart and tricky and plays roles that you're very familiar with in your life, and that is how it tricks you. So I have experienced these 8 personalities of the ego extremely clearly over the last almost 20 years of this spiritual journey that I've been on. And it wasn't until last week when I was listening to Dronvello, he talked about the 8 personalities of the ego, and I'm like, I've been through that. So I thought I would make this vlog because it'll be helpful for you to know what your ego is and what spirit and intuition is, because your ego will act like it's your spirit, that it is your intuition. It will act like that. So the 8 parts of the ego, the first part or personality of the ego is mother. It will act like your mother. It will act like that caring, compassionate mother, okay? Mother figure. The second personality the ego takes on is the father figure. So it acts like strict rules, but this is how it is. That is the father personality trait of the ego. And then your ego takes on 3 aspects of the child in the male form, from male energy, from yang energy, and 3 aspects of the child in its female energy, female form. So 3, 6, 7, and 8. Those are the 8 personalities of the ego. Now, I'll give you examples of how I have experienced all 8. So the mother aspect of the ego was actually the last aspect that I experienced, and it was a huge transformation and awakening for me. So I'm going to start with the mother aspect. About a year and a half ago, I was out on a walk, and really enjoying Mother Nature. And I was just feeling really whole, really content, really present in life. It was such a beautiful day and just really enjoying my walk. And all of a sudden, in my thought forms, I could hear this it's just so beautiful outside. You're just so lucky. You're just so nurtured now. You're just on top of the world. You're just such a great person, and you're balanced. Like, you are such a good girl. And I heard this thought formation, put it together in a sentence, and that is what the sentence was speaking to me. And I remember I was looking up at the sky and the trees while I'm walking, and all of a sudden I just stopped. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And I was so confused as I'm outside and I'm looking at everything, and I'm like, spirit, Mother Nature, the elements or planets, the sun, the moon, they never speak like that. That was overly compassionate. What in the fuck was that? And that is when I realized, holy shit, that was my ego. And then I realized that a lot of spiritualists, a lot of people that are living from the 6th sense are in that vibration. The ego is holding on to them almost like a noose and tricking them and making them think that it's their spirit. Spirit never speaks to you like that. Spirit is very nonchalant. Spirit would have just let me enjoy my moment of beauty. That's how I felt while I was outside. I saw the beauty. I felt the wholeness. I felt one with everything. Like, I felt one with the trees, the flowers, the birds, with everything. I was enjoying that unity consciousness so much. I was fucking feeling it from head to toe. And there was no need. Spirit at that time just gives you more of that feeling. It has no need to come in and act all so nurturing and overly compassionate and overly kind. None whatsoever. And that is when I realized you just took me out of balance. I was feeling so good, and you had to come in and you took me out of that unity consciousness. You took me out of that balance, that oneness that I felt with everything. This is not my spirit. That, my friends, is a personality of the ego that is the trickiest when it starts playing the role of spirit and it starts playing the role of your mother. So, second, we've all probably felt this, is that authoritative yang role where the ego is constantly making you feel, I can't do that. What if I fail? All that guilt that you may have that comes with it, fear, that's the father role that the ego plays in your mind complex. That is what the ego does. That's how it keeps you latched on in the matrix, is as the father figure. That's a personality that your ego plays. And then the other two, which is the little boy, the little kid, it's not little, it plays, let's not say that, let me take that out. It's the male. It plays three components of the male. The first yang component that it plays is like a childhood personality, a child personality. The second that it plays is a teenage personality, a development personality of like venture and learning and activity. The third that it plays is adulthood, more of like, from what I've noticed, is kind of like your 30s onwards, 30s to retirement kind of time. It plays that role. So, and the same on the flip side, it takes on, so that's its yang male aspects personalities that it plays within you. And on the flip side, it does the same thing, the polarity, the mirror, but it plays the female, the yin aspects of the child. We'll just call it a child, but it's not. It actually plays all forms, just like I explained that it does with the male. So then it'll play your male aspects, and then it plays your female aspects. So it's the mother personality it takes on, the father personality it takes on, then it takes on three personality characteristics of the male yang, and it takes on three personality characteristics of the female yin. Those 6 personalities we will talk about in another vlog, but I just want to say, how fucking tricky is that ego, hey? That is why it takes, this is such hard work. Getting through your shadows is so hard because the ego literally keeps you anchored and wants to keep you in suffering. And it takes on all of these different personalities to get what it wants. It wants control of your life, basically. And that's why this shadow work is so hard, because you're taking the noose off, and then the ego's like, fuck you. I am gonna put it back on you if I have to act like your frickin' soul. You know, if I have to act like your fucking spirit, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna trick you, and on goes the noose again. And it keeps pulling it and pulling it and tightening it and tightening it. It's a crazy experience. When you go through it, it is crazy. I am just so thankful that I was out in Mother Nature and I caught it. And then I started like learning about, when I say learning, self-reflection, meditating on it and understanding like, holy shit, that ego, this is crazy. So this happened a 1.5 years ago, maybe 2. And it was just lately, like this last week, that I heard Drunvalo talk about the 8 personalities of the ego. And that's why this vlog came to you. So thank you to him. And I guess it was time for me to really speak about it as well. And this is why all that shadow work is so difficult. That's why evolution of self-inquiry, people run from it because it's hard to deal with. And the ego keeps you out of it. Like that little boy aspect of the ego, that little boy, the characteristics and the personality that it takes on, it's avoidance. It's like, oh, no, I'm not gonna look at that. Forget it. I'm not gonna look at that. That's too painful. We don't want pain. That's what little kids, they don't want pain. Little kids are in for it for curiosity and for fun. And they have this like peace and this lightness to them. But then that personality of the young girl that it takes on, if that doesn't work, it'll switch over with no time. There's no time space for the ego. The ego does it like this, not even a second, 0 seconds, 0 time. And it'll switch in to the little female that is more yin, and it'll take on the characteristics of the little girl, like, oh no, we can't, I can't do that. I'm not allowed to go there. No. There's no need. That's not, my mom will get mad. My dad will get mad. No, thank you. I'd rather silence myself and not deal with it and put the curtain up and keep the veil going. That is also the ego. That's the little boy aspect and the little girl aspect of the ego. I am just blown away. Blown away. And I love that I just heard Drunvalo talk about it now, and that I've experienced all of it. It just like boom, 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 put it all into perspective for me. And there's another transformation. I'm able to speak this to you now, and that is part of spiritual growth. Part of my own healing, learning this. And now, because I'm aware of the 8 personalities of the ego, you think I'm gonna let it happen to me continually? Hell no. And the best part of the transformation is that you're catching this quicker and you're letting it go. It's awareness. Love you guys so much.